Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Steel Boxing!
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to And Still Boxing. What I'm going to go over today is the Dmitry Bivol versus Artur Beterbiev fight. Holy dooly. I don't think I'm the only one that is shocked on this one. Listen, we have a new undisputed champion, Artur Beterbiev, and personally, it was a high-level masterclass fight. Okay, for the boxing fan, it's absolutely exactly what you wanted. Okay, for the casual fan, people probably want to see the knockout. All right, Beterbiev has 20 knockouts, not anymore, but he had 20 knockouts and he's, listen, clearing everyone out of that division. He comes up against Dmitry Bivol and, listen, people were probably expecting a knockout, but Bivol's got a bit of a chin on him and he's very defensive with his feet. So on top of that, they obviously didn't get it, but he got the points decision. And we said here on And Still Boxing, if you listened, that where the value was, if you're a betting man, where the value was would have been Beterbiev on points. Okay, that was value, and look, it came true. So you know what they say: a broken clock is right twice a day, but maybe in this spot, no, it was just maybe some good analysis. I don't know. I know. Call me pretentious. Anyway, on top of that, basically, low key, I might have been going for Beterbiev. I try to be objective about these things, but low key, I tried to be going for Beterbiev. But my prediction was with Bivol. All right, they put a gun to my head. Me and Michael King, we came here, we did the analysis. We had a good think about it, and we were like, listen, gun to your head, Bivol. All right, due to the age, due to, you know, the styles and how they matched up, very interesting. Personally, I had Bivol up by a round or two. Now, it's very, very close. At worst, a draw. But in this spot, when Beterbiev got announced the winner, and by on one card, by a significant, one judge, a significant amount, it surprised me, but I wasn't upset about it. Okay, I can see that route to victory. It was the aggression. It was him stealing the real estate, I think Teddy Atlas said, and that was a pretty good way of putting it, that he was controlling the ring to a certain extent, and that's what the judges saw and what the judges liked. That aggressive nature. Personally, what I saw from Bivol was that he was controlling the ring and had that ring generalship under control a bit more. He was countering so well off some of Beterbiev's shots. I was like, yeah, happy days. Obviously, Beterbiev had his spots. He snatched rounds. But early in the round, maybe round, 3 or 4, he hit him with that body shot. And we know he had power. Okay, hit him with that body shot and he caused a slowdown in Bivol. Okay, he was cutting off the ring a lot. And Bivol did have to move, and I think he was tiring out a little bit. And then allowed him to control the fight in that sense, Beterbiev, that is. But I think for a majority of it, Bivol got a second wind. He would counter very nicely off it, probably hitting some cleaner shots. He's very, very good defensively, as we know. He was catching a lot of these shots on the glove and whatnot. I think it might have been Beterbiev's strategy because, you know, Bivol deploys that high guard as one of his defensive tactics, defensive packages, and obviously very defensive with his legs, great range management. But he would hit him in the gloves. Now, obviously, when you fight at these in the professional ranks, that these gloves are quite small and you can hit the hand and you can hit the face. And obviously you saw from that lead right hand or that rear hand looping hook that Beterbiev would throw, you could see Bivol really starting to swell and get quite damaged there on the face. But nothing excessive, no swelling that would impede his vision or anything like that during the fight. So he was catching them and some of the cleanest shots I think were coming from Bivol as opposed to Artur Beterbiev. Now, on top of that, yes, Beterbiev did snatch the rounds, and round 11 and 12, where it could have been even, a debate can be made, but honestly, when I was looking at it, it would have been rounds 1 or 2, winning by rounds 1 or 2, and worst, a draw there. So, it was quite interesting. Now, a couple of our thoughts on previous podcasts that we were like, okay, people can age overnight in boxing. That's an old sort of saying where, you know, you look good your previous fight, but the next one you fight, you essentially look, you know, done. You age overnight. At 39 years old, I'm actually amazed that Beterbiev has not shown those age-related slowdowns. I think he was having some issues with Bivol's footwork, but who doesn't? The guy is a master boxer. The man is an amazing tactician and very defensive with his feet. Yeah, he was pushing him around, but I don't think it was bullying necessarily. Obviously, the refs saw it that way, and I can see how they saw it that way. But I feel like Bivol controlled the ring quite well and moved around and implemented his style onto Beterbiev. Yeah, but it was amazing to see that Beterbiev didn't have that age-related depletion, and that goes to show that type of lifestyle that he's living. You know, no alcohol, training hard, and the man was just amazing shape. They both were. They both were really ready for this fight and pretty much gave boxing and the boxing fans everything that we expected from this fight. It was not lackluster at all. It was edge of your seat stuff. Anyone could have gone at any time. And I'm actually surprised it wasn't a knockdown, but at the same time, not. You know, Bivol's defensive packages, his defensive footwork and counterfighting, it's really hard to get that knockdown on him or even really cause a lot of drama and a lot of damage in that sense. Now, the aftermath. Now, it's quite interesting because there's been quite a bit of, such a well advertised and promoted event. There's a lot of things that come from it. Now, I don't know if you saw, but Bivol was going through some issues with his ex-wife at the time. But what we did see actually was Bivol's wife actually leaked all the injury history from Bivol during their time together. And the guy looks like he had such a list of injuries. His knees, his hands, his elbow. He gets cloudy vision. His ear gets swollen, like if you hit it too much. He's ruptured it a number of times. Now, I don't think this necessarily gave a competitive advantage to Beterbiev, because I have no doubt she would have contacted the Beterbiev team and been like, hey, XYZ. I don't think that would have given him an advantage because these would have healed or been relatively fine. I don't think any fighter goes into a fight 100% healthy. However, what this does say to me, and especially at this top level, is that the nature of boxing and being such a brutal sport. Bivol is a very defensive fighter, doesn't really get hit much. He isn't coming forward and very aggressive in that sense, and he's not getting hit, okay? A boxer. He's not like these Mexican Margarito style fighters coming forward, taking shots, but implementing their wrath onto somebody. But that just goes to show, even Bivol was racking up a series of injuries in this, and it's absolutely amazing. And it really shocked me to see such a list. I don't know if they're all true, whatever it may be, but very, very interesting. I feel like Bivol, if he was going to make some adjustments from the fight, okay, if he, I noticed every time he clinched, all right, it would really take the momentum away from Beterbiev, and he would then go back to boxing, counter-fighting him there, okay? But when he was backing up too much, Beterbiev would come forward and be throwing a lot of shots and controlling the real estate and showing that aggressiveness, which the judges liked. But every time Bivol would clinch and walk him back, which is a very, spoiling style of tactic, but necessary against a brutal puncher. We saw it against Mike Tyson and Holyfield, where Holyfield would clinch and walk him backwards. He needed to implement a plan like that. And if he just spammed clinch a little bit more, especially in the later rounds, I feel like it'd break his momentum, then he can go back to controlling the ring, counter-fighting, what he does best, implementing plan A. However, Bivol has that great equalizer in power, and we've seen it across boxing history everywhere. He has the power. So I think he was having issues during the clinch. Though he couldn't get full leverage on it, he was still hitting Bivol, and Bivol didn't like it. All right. He said, yeah, no, thank you. All right. Having a stronger man punching you like that inside the clinch, and you can feel the power of them, they want to stay away. But I think personally that's better than getting clipped with full leverage. All right. That's what that puts you to sleep, especially with a guy like Beterbiev. 20 knockouts, 20 fights. Unbelievable. So I feel like he could have implemented that a little bit better to actually, show and shake that momentum as well. I've always been of the opinion a better boxer will win a rematch. So after this, if they do get a rematch, and when you look at the numbers and people that are voting, it's basically, 1/3 of people said Bivol won, 1/3 of people said Beterbiev won. 1/3 said draw. So it's definitely in the works, I would say, for it to be a rematch. I'm of the opinion a better boxer will win a rematch. And I feel like Bivol is a better boxer. Even Beterbiev said it. It may be their Eastern European, being very reasonable and, shooting straight. Not necessarily much of a, trash talkers as well, like we see from a lot of, say, American or English fighters. Or maybe an English second language thing. But he even said that he's better than me. He's a better boxer than me. I feel like if they fight, call it a year, call it the next fight. I feel like inevitably Beterbiev's age will catch up with him. And Bivol is, I think, still the superior boxer. We'll make the corrections from the first one because let's call it a draw. Just say it was a draw or even a win here. I feel like he can make 1% corrections there to implement his game style a little bit better. I know Beterbiev's, I know Bivol's team are going to file a complaint. I feel like it's going to fall on deaf ears. I don't think it was so overt in the sense that it, was a robbery or anything like that. I feel like it's just the way the refs, the judges saw it. And I feel like that's going to fall on deaf ears. But however, that's something they will do. And like any team, you'll go to use all your resources and avenues of, to get this overturned. But I don't think it's going to go ahead. Now, there is one possibility as well, is that Beterbiev, all right, and it may be just the situation where it's in the media, big hype at the moment, but there is a situation where there's word that he may be going up to fight Jai Opataya at light heavyweight. Now, personally, I feel like that is a bad move for Beterbiev. He's already getting a bit older. The size and jab issues from Bivol did cause him dramas, but you go up against someone, a young gun, mobile, agile, lethal athlete in Jai Opataya, you're asking for trouble. You are absolutely asking for trouble. The power differential from the two fighters would be just too much, I think. And though we know Beterbiev is tough, he's been knocked down before. We know he punches hard. Hey, you're going up weight divisions here. Right, Breeders punches hard as well. I feel like you're running into trouble if you're going against Jai Opataya. His confidence is up. He looks like he's going to probably snatch another belt. He doesn't have all them wars on him as well, for the most part. And I feel like that would be a bad move, especially right at the tail end of your career for Beterbiev. Bivol going up might be a different story, master boxer. But Jai Opataya versus Beterbiev, I don't think is a good matchup. But honestly, let us know what you think. I want to know who you thought won and why. I would like to know your fine boxing minds. Thank you very much for listening to End Still Boxing, and until next time.
Thank you for listening. If you liked this episode, please subscribe to the channel for future content.